And we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here from Lakers Fast Break, Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts. Our latest show covers the Writers Guild strike, so go ahead and talk about that. Plus, also as well, the failure of Redfall, and also our summer movie preview. So catch it today wherever you get your podcasts. Plus, also if you could like, share, subscribe. Go ahead and support us right here at the Lakers Fast Break. And if you do subscribe, you'll get the latest notifications on when we go live on the air with our great shows, whether it's Magic Man in the morning. Also, as well, our newest show, Lakers Weekend, coming up this weekend. Also, as well, Lakers snack packs all over the place. Late night with the Lakers Fast Break. Lakers History 101, which we're bringing back next week. Class will be in session. Do you know your Lakers history and more? You can go ahead and check it out today by subscribing and hit that notification bell right there for you, right here at the Lakers Fast Break. Plus, also as well, LakersBall.com. Go ahead and join Joe Soro today as Ox1947, right there for you at LakersBall.com. Plus, he's got a great company that you need to support if you're in the Southern California area. And after a game like today, the great thing that you can do for a fellow Lakers fan is going ahead and having your lawn transformed. I'm trying, Joe. I'm really trying. Lawn transformed into something much more magical than it is today. And nothing would help Joe after a rough game like today than going ahead and supporting him today at Simblades, Simblades with a Y.com. Plus also as well, our good friends, Laker Tom, the number one Lakers blogger that's out there, and his good friend, Jamie Sweet. The guys are going to be arguing today because, after a game like that, they're always arguing, but even be more so at Lakerholics.com. So find out what the fun is all about today at Lakerholics.com. Our good friend Stone Hansen, who said he will be back with us for game 3. So looking forward to that. You could check out what he's been working hard on with the Upside Swings NBA Draft podcast. Our good friend John Mikaelian, 40 pounds lost out of his 100-pound goal. And you could go ahead and check out what he's talking about and describing about with that progress right there for you on the John Mikaelian channel. Subscribe today. And if you can support all of that, it is sincerely appreciated. Very frustrating loss indeed. Intel, Wild, I got to give you credit. You did say that what was going to happen happened, and it mirrored what we saw in Philadelphia with the 76ers in Boston last night. They came in very cocky, very, confident after a 1-0 series lead. We don't need to worry about game 2. You know what? The Lakers, they won game 1 and decided, we could care less really about game 2, because it seems after the second quarter started with AD sitting down, and it just seemed like they got on a run, the Golden State Warriors, that the Lakers just could never recover from. They just absolutely got mauled after that. I think to the tune from right now, I'm calculating out 86 going to 103 to the Lakers 67. So that's 103. I see 84. I'm sorry, 101 to 67. And that's out in the last 3 quarters. And the Lakers, unfortunately, do lose 127 to 100. And at that, those last 3 quarters were ugly. It got into garbage time. At least LeBron and AD got a little rest, about a quarter's full, because they didn't show up in the fourth quarter. They're just sitting on the bench because this game was out of hand early in the second half. And here today to talk about today's game, a very disappointing one indeed. 2 great, awesome panelists that are here with you, win or lose. We're here with you indeed to tell you why, even after a game like today where it was really bad, the Lakers should still go back home feeling good with the split and what we can do in the next 2 games. Good man indeed. You got to go ahead and check him out as Ox1947 at LakersBall.com. It is Joe Soro. And Joe, great to have you here. Joe says, I'm leaving this chat. I don't even want to hear it. You know what? Again, bad game by the Lakers today. Still going back into LA, tied 1-1, my friend. That's got to be something you got to look forward to, knowing that the Lakers still have 1 game in hand.
The real ballers stay and soak. That's why we're here. I would have liked a little bit more effort in this game. Unfortunately, they kind of turned it off after, I'd say, midway through the second half, midway through the third quarter, and it was just I don't even know what word to use to explain this game, but it was a giveaway in the end. How do you make up for it? You get win game 3 and 4. If you win game 3 and 4, we're right back to where we were in the first series. Win game 3 and 4, and you're up 3-1. You guarantee your team can close it out at home at that point. Worst case, Anthony Davis looked like he couldn't make a shot, and I think that set the tone for the team. The Lakers weren't playing that bad in the first quarter, but unfortunately, AD could not hit his 10-footers and 8-footers. Everything was clanking off, uh, and it kind of resonated throughout the first half. After that, when he sat down, it was over. And then, of course, Klay Thompson's decided to not stink anymore in this particular series so far. So we're going to see if he comes back down to earth in LA. But the Lakers need to go into game 3, understanding that game 3 and game 4, if you want to win this series, they have to be wins. If they leave LA 2-2, you're risking not losing in 7, basically. I think that's kind of where that might end up playing out. But I don't really have a feeling. I really didn't have a feeling on this game, and I didn't really have a feeling in game 1 either. This kind of went the way in a little bit of how it would go, which is Golden State knows their back is against the wall. They're the champs. They're going to come out and do what they needed to do, and they did. But this team doesn't play well at home, so you guys have to take advantage of this in game 3 and game 4. Take advantage of it, win those 2 games at home, and then we can rest easy after Monday if you can do that. Then at that point, it's just win one more game in the last 3, which I think the Lakers are very capable of doing.
That's correct. The key is, can the Lakers go ahead and win those games at home? We'll find out indeed. But once again, the Lakers do lose 127-100. Also here today, good man indeed. He is the madman from Toronto, the Magic Man indeed. You got to go ahead and check him out when he gets out of Toronto traffic to go ahead and check out this unfortunate game. But he will be here in the morning for you because it's Magic Man in the morning. It is the Magic Man, the madman from Toronto. It is Sean Grice. He did get out of traffic to watch this mess. But again, we're just going to go ahead and brush it off. The Lakers do go back to LA, tied 1-1. I think the game 1 is more reminiscent and more visible and more what this series is all about as far as the look for both teams. I think in the future of going forward, you're going to see more of game 1 than you will of game 2.
I agree, Gerald. And, unfortunately, I don't have either margarita mix or a sombrero. So it's going to have to be a subdued Cinco de Mayo on Magic Man tomorrow in the morning, especially after the effort we saw tonight. Two things can be true at once. When he's focused, Anthony Davis is the best defensive player in the NBA, and it's not even close. All due respect to Giannis. But when he's not engaged, either through health or foul trouble, and that's what happened tonight. He's admittedly he cannot find a good rhythm. He said that before. We saw it happen in previous games. I think the best illustration of it would have been the game in 2022 when the Lakers were in Philadelphia and he picked up quick fouls in succession, had to go to the bench, and we saw the Sixers build up a pretty fat lead while he was on the bench. Now, when he came back in the fourth quarter of that game, he had over 21 points. He imposed his imprint on the game. We just couldn't make free throws at the end, and that was a good example of him being not focused and the Lakers still finding a way to climb back in the game. But tonight was just a write-off, just a wash. Not a good effort by him at all. Golden State did a good job of trying to creep him out of the paint and just live with the results at the rim, because it was a complete opposite of what Golden State did last game. It seemed like they just abandoned their motion offense and just decided, well, we're going to live with Steph making Steph and Clay making threes and trying to nudge AD out of the paint. And that's what happened. He's still engaged, Z, I agree, but the focus is not there. He's admitted that this is what happens to him. He gets in foul trouble and he can't get back into a rhythm offensively. And even defensively, he was not engaged. He wasn't as engaged as he has been. The ferocity was not there.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was just a disappointment indeed. 127 to 100. The Lakers unfortunately fall. They are still tied 1-1, and I think that's something we need to focus on, Joe. How can we get at the ship right away? Because the game 3 is in LA on Saturday night, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Want to ask you this: the Lakers, it's AD. You already know what he's going to do because he's already done it several times. He blames himself in the media after the game. Then he comes out with a good game, the next game. I'm not too worried about that. What I am worried about, though, is the supporting staff, the supporting cast, which was there for you prominent in game 1, outside of Rui, did not show up today. And I was really disappointed with both Schroeder and especially Austin Reeves, who absolutely stunk it up today. Your thoughts on what they need to do to get it going to help support AD and LeBron, who at times in the first half looked like he wanted to take on Golden State all by himself.
Well, it's looking like the LeBron-centric team doesn't win games anymore.
I
LeBron
agree.
needs to play the initiator, a position that he's always preferred to be. With, there's that time where he needs to be LeBron, which is the best of both worlds. AD was the main reason why the Lakers lost tonight. He wasn't dominant. We need a dominant AD to have any shot. Austin Reeves is struggling. He's only played one good quarter in 8 out of 8. I don't know if he's hurt. I don't know if the pressure is mounting on him. I don't know if he's not getting enough space to operate. That's probably what it is in a lot of ways. But he's going to have to adjust, and Darvin Ham's going to have to adjust. The coaching tonight was thoroughly on Steve Kerr's side. Darvin Ham could not adjust to Steph Curry being the initiator and the assist man tonight instead of the scoring guard. I didn't see any adjustments in that, and the Lakers had some shots going in early. Rui was hitting shots, D'Lo was hitting shots, but the problem was you had Clay go off. Clay, this is the second game in a row. Clay's played well. I'm not expecting him to play like this all series long. If he does, it's going to be a problem because I was really hoping that he wouldn't. Steph Curry is going to do what he does. Poole's going to do what he does. I have no feeling on this game. But the Lakers are going to have to figure out the next step here in game 3 and 4 to make sure that you use the crowd. The role players always play better with the crowd behind them. Make sure you use that to your advantage. Get these guys in good spots. Get these guys some space to do what they need to do. And win game 3 and 4, and you will likely win this series. That's where we stand. The audience is asking for a rant. I'm trying to think of what I can rant about. It's been very difficult for me to
Why
rant.
do you need to, though? But why do you need to when they go back to series 1-1? That's what you wanted to do.
It's difficult to do a rant when the team has been a team like this. Winning in 6 is a good thing, which means you still have to lose 2 games. This is one of them. The Lakers have an advantage right now. They have 2 games at home against a team that struggles on the road. If you win game 3 and 4, the series is likely over. So it's just that's what we're looking at. I would have loved to have had the Lakers win this game, but Golden State, being that they have the championship pedigree and the players that can make a difference, like Clay and Steph and Draymond, it's hard to win these games unless you play perfect basketball, especially on their home court. So my rant is not a loud one tonight, but my rant will be towards the entire team, just like I've been giving credit to the entire team. Darvin, you got outcoached tonight. You got outcoached badly. And AD, you didn't help your coach on top of that. Stop conceding games. This is a habit that the Lakers have had all year. Don't do it here. This is not the regular season. Go into LA and win game 3 and 4, and we'll forget about game 2. Then you're going to go back to Golden State. If you play hard enough and win that game, cool. If not, you better damn believe we're going to want you to be focused for game 6 in LA. So that's where my mindset is on that. And stay healthy, stay focused. LeBron hit some shots tonight, which is encouraging. We need him to hit those shots when we're on a run here to win games instead of climbing back from a deficit. That's where I am on that.
Once again, it's the Lakers fast break. The Lakers unfortunately lose 127-100. They are still tied 1 game to 1 game as they head back to Los Angeles. And MagicMan, again, that's even though it's so hard because it's such a dispiriting loss tonight. And I know the fans in Philadelphia know exactly what we're going through because even though they got the game 1 victory, they came back with just a terrible outing the next time around. The thing is, though, I don't want to give Golden State confidence as they head to LA. I'm hoping that the Lakers can find what adjustments are necessary and AD can adjust as is necessary. The only thing I can really take out of it is that Hashimura found his stroke again. LeBron found his stroke early on in that first half. You could take that, and with a better performance from AD and Austin Reeves and D'Lo and Dennis Schroeder at a more friendly confines, I think you can go ahead and do what Joe's asking and get 2 games in a row at home.
I agree, Gerald. I agree. First of all, I think they really need to come out with a purpose on the offensive end. Like we saw it, right? It wasn't really purposeful at all. The first 4 or 5 minutes, they were just checking up as many threes as they could to see whether or not. I don't know what they were doing. I'm not sure if that was
Curry
baiting.
it was initiated the offense a lot more in today's game, and they also were able to get in the paint substantially more than they did in game 1.
They were because they scrapped their motion offense and they decided they're just going to live and die with Steph trying to create that. Like Anthony Davis called it controlled chaos with Golden State, but they eliminated that tonight. It wasn't even controlled chaos. It was just we're going to get whoever off an off-ball screen with Steph, and if somebody's open in the lane, that's his first option rather than shooting a 3. And you saw it. You were right, Gerald. You said it before the game. Gerald said, I have a feeling they're going to attack the paint a lot more than they did previously, and they did.
And they did indeed. And good question by Richard. Great to have you and everyone else in the chat. Zangerstein, everybody else, Scarlett, just so many great people. Daniel, as always. Laker John 24 as well. Great to have everybody in the chat, the best Lakers chat that's out there, the Lakers Fast Break. He's got a question for you, Joe. Since the 4th quarter of game 1 and this game, the Steph trap isn't working. Do they stick with it? The thing is, though, when he passes off, he initiates the offense, he gets the ball to someone, and they give it right back to him. And he just takes those shots from there, those quick 3-pointers that seem to just be backbreakers at times. Somehow they got to go ahead and find ways to just disrupt this offense. And unfortunately today they just didn't get it done.
Well, the difference between tonight's game and 2 nights ago is the Lakers played efficient basketball on the offensive side. Anthony Davis was effective, right? Because they were making ridiculous shots in game 1, yet they couldn't get any distance. So this game, the only difference in this game is the Lakers didn't show up. That's the only difference in this game. And it was more Klay Thompson who was making those shots. they're going to make their shots, and you can't stop Steph Curry, whether he wants to be the initiator of the offense or if he wants to be the shooter in the offense. Either way, he's going to get what he needs. The issue tonight was AD could not hit his 8 and 7 and 6 and 10 footers. AD was hitting 22 footers, 20 footers in game one. And when you do that, there's a psychology that's attached to that. When you see, because that's one of the things that Draymond and the Warriors players were talking about in the post game after game one. Well, when AD's hitting those shots, there's a little bit of you're demoralized by it because you're going, man, we took him away from the basket, but this guy's still making those shots. It kind of gets you into that kind of droopy mode. The Lakers have to run their offense efficiently, and they will likely in game 3 and game 4 because they will be at home. Role players play better at home. They make better shots because they get the support of the fans and the noise that are there. LeBron got his shot back a little bit tonight, but LeBron still needs to initiate the offense and get everybody involved. And, of course, AD needs to play AD. We've seen AD play AD and still lose, but there's got to be some kind of cohesiveness between everyone. It's got to be a full team effort here. There's not really one way or the other that this thing's going to go. And I don't see how they wouldn't play well in game 3 and game 4. The Warriors struggle. Even when Steph won the Warriors the game in Sacramento, the Warriors were struggling other than Steph. And the only reason why Sacramento lost that series was because they were tight almost the entire game. So much so that their clutch player of the year, one of the many awards that seem to be given out in the NBA, because apparently every single person needs to have some flavor of the month award. What was the award today that I sent you guys that I didn't even know about until today? What was it?
Well, it's the NBA Hustle Award, but
Hustle Award? Are you freaking kidding me?
They've been giving that out for 3 years now.
Are you freaking kidding me? Who the hell sits around and goes, let's give a guy out of all these NBA players the Hustle Award, the Hustle of the Year Award. That's like giving a doctor the good surgery guy of the year. Really? We're giving awards for hustling? And you gave an award to a guy? You gave a clutch award to a guy who wasn't clutch? I don't know. I don't know where we're going in this world sometimes. But I'd like to make sure that if I'm Darvin Ham, I'd like to make sure that my team understands that you're going to be at home. You're going to deal with the champs, but you got to put your foot in the mouth, throat, and face all at once. End these guys. They haven't lost, I believe, since 2019 series, right? That's
By the way, I don't think they. That's a good question. I don't think Scarlet that they named it after money. I'm looking at the NBA's official communications, and they did not name it after anyone, according to what I see.
Yeah, they really went award happy this last. I'm surprised we don't have a first round MVP award at this point. The amount of just BS, and we talked about this on Playback. If you guys want a raw analysis of life, basketball, and everything, you should watch Playback because we're a little bit more vocal there. Here, this is a little more of a PG-13 type atmosphere.
So Anthony Davis isn't going to be this aggressive. Give me the ball, Gerald. I'm in the post. Give me the ball. That's not him. He's not going to do that. So you know what, Gerald? It's really now up to LeBron, Dennis Schroeder, and Austin Reeves, who are our ball handlers, to exploit matchups he could take advantage of. Because once you do that, once you have the energy to try and find him those exploitative matchups, that's when he becomes more engaged offensively. His job is more defensive. He said this, I don't know how many times. He's not really going to be that absurd of offensively. So it's up for LeBron and the rest of the Lakers to trying to find matchups for him to exploit because he's not going to do it himself.
Absolutely. I do want to ask you this though, Joe. You mentioned it on the first game. They won game one because of their defense. Today, 50% from behind the arc and 50% overall for the Golden State Warriors. That's not a recipe for something that's good that's going to happen to the Lakers if that happens again. The Lakers got to do something to go ahead and provide more contests, more energy at the rim, more ways in which to disrupt the offense of the Golden State Warriors. I think they can do that. I think you will not let them go ahead and hit 50% again from both behind the arc and inside the arc. Your thoughts on what they need to do to focus in on better defense on Saturday?
Well, they played better offense in game one as well. The
Yeah,
Warriors
that's
were
true.
still making shots, even though they just ran out of gas because the Lakers were playing such good defense throughout a 48-minute span. The Lakers have an advantage in that this team that they're playing struggles on the road. So exploit that trouble. Darvin Ham, look at some tape. Why are these guys struggling on the road? Exploit it, and throw it down their throats in game three. Win game three, then the pressure really is on the Warriors to win game four. If they don't win game four, they're in massive trouble at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the stuff you got to do. And you have LeBron James and Anthony Davis. This is not the Sacramento Kings. This is not a team that's not fully equipped to beat in your butt at home. The Lakers have everything they need to beat the Warriors at home. Make it happen. You cannot lose any of these games at home. Win all the home games, and you're going to the Western Conference Finals to meet either Denver or Phoenix. That's the mindset you have to have.
Once again, it's the Lakers fast break. The Lakers unfortunately lose 127-100, but they do go back home to LA for two home games, tied 1-1 in the best of 7 series in the second round of the NBA playoffs. Sean, again, we want to take solace in the fact that, again, they go back home 1-1. I understand, just like yesterday we saw with Philly, ended up on the short end of the stick big time. But you know what? Again, you got to take back that, we were going back 1-1. If we hold serve at home, we go back to Golden State. We go back to the Chase Center. We go back to San Francisco up 3-1 with really just a big advantage up by, after Monday's game. We could really be up 3-1 with a lot of confidence on our shoulders.
Gerald, I'm gonna, I like quotes, right? So I'm gonna bring up a big one, and it's been mentioned before on this program, but I feel that it needs to be illustrated more. Paul Bear Bryant's one of the greatest football coaches ever. Okay, I consider Nick Saban the greatest. I think Joe would agree with me, but we could digress. Paul Bear Bryant once said, I win football games not because of the X's and O's, but because of the Jimmies and the Joes. And that's the big difference here is that the Jimmies and the Joes for the Warriors showed up tonight. Clay showed up. Steph didn't have a good game, so Clay stepped up for him. Draymond Green frustrated Anthony Davis, Gerald, believe it or not. He bothered him offensively. A lot of people say, "Well, Sean, it's the icing and it was the X's and the O's that the Warriors were able to frustrate AD by bringing him out." No, it's a lot about your attitude too. Attitude reflects leadership. That's another great quote. That's from Remember the Titans.
Absolutely.
Attitude reflects leadership. That's Wood Harris's line. That's a great quote too. It was all about the attitude tonight. The Warriors came in with the right attitude. The Lakers didn't. They got it. And I want to emphasize what Gerald has been saying. The Warriors could have easily won game one, but the Lakers hung tight. They stuck with their game plan and they pulled it out. Tonight went a little bit more Golden State's way. I think out of the 8 quarters we've played so far, Gerald, I think the Lakers have won 4 and the Warriors have won 4, and we're tied 1-1. So we go back to game 3 for adjustments. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes. Darvin Ham could do a lot to affect the X's and the O's, but it's going to be because of LeBron and AD and our guards that paved the way for a game 3 victory.
I will say this though, people can take solace in the fact that, if we can limit Joe Curry to another 20-point game or consistently keep him in the low 20s for the rest of the series, there's no way I think that Thompson will hit another 8 out of 11 3-pointers like he did today. I think he can have another good game, but I don't think he can have that good. This is one of the best games he's had in a long, long time. He was absolutely terrible again the Sacramento series for the most part. He's going to keep chucking it up. If you could just provide a little bit better contesting on him, on Poole, JaMychal Green, the guy had the game he's had all season, best game he's had all season, 6 of 9, 15 points, 3 of 6 from 3. If you're going to have, because he stepped in for Kevon Looney, if you're going to have him pump again and give him those kind of shots, I don't think you're going to get the same kind of results another time around.
It's unfortunate because it was more than just the shot making. The Lakers were up 7 at this in the first half at one point. AD sat, and then the lead was relinquished really quickly. They had a good run. They had a good run even early, but they just couldn't sustain it the entire game. And then they kind of sat back and said, well, we're not going to kill ourselves to try to come back so that we can be reinvigorated for game 3 when we get back on Saturday. The issues that I noticed in the game were the cherry pick offensive rebound scores that cost the Lakers. I'd say that was a big factor in the missed shots, and then it just happened to fall in the line with Warriors standing at the right place at the right time and getting the layup. That actually had more of a dagger to the heart tonight than actually than Klay Thompson shooting threes. I mean, it played a big part, obviously, but those cherry pick offensive rebound scores are what really demoralize you. Again, there's a psychology to basketball, and the difference between tonight versus game 1 is the Lakers were set and ready to deal with the barrage of shots going in. Tonight, they were not. And they weren't because human nature says they were relaxed more tonight.
Well, also as well, the fast break points in the paint, all favored Golden State, and that's something you're not going to. If the Lakers want to win the series, they're going to have to turn that around really quick.
They need to make a statement on Saturday, win that game, and then the pressure is really, really on a jump shooting team to score in game 4 on the road where they've struggled. You have to win game 3. If the Lakers do not win game 3, then there's going to need to be something that clicks between the two stars that says we're not losing this series. They are capable of doing that, but it'd be a lot easier if you just win game 3 and then put the pressure on Steph and company to have to win game 4. And even if you lose game 4, at least you're going to set up a 3-game series to win the series. It's not shameful to go 7 against the champs. I'm not, looking at it from an objective standpoint, but I prefer the Lakers to win their home games so we can put this to bed and get ready to go play Denver or Phoenix in the Western Conference Finals.
Once again, it's the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do lose 127-100, but they go back home tied 1-1 in the series. MagicMan, when it comes to what you're seeing, what adjustments would you make for Saturday night? I know you're going to discuss this more in the morning on MagicMan in the morning, but what are you looking forward to as far as what do you think that the Lakers can do to make some changes? I know that Zangerstein is saying match AD with Curry as far as the minute per minute. That's something obviously you could do, but again, this started downhill as soon as AD went out in the second quarter, despite the fact he played absolutely terrible in AD estimations tonight. It all started when AD sat out that second quarter, but you've got to rest him at some point in time because he played the entire first quarter. You got to go ahead and manage the minutes, I think, a little bit more wiser if you're Darvin Ham in order to try to maximize the best that you can out of LeBron and AD.
Yeah, definitely, Gerald. But I mean, Z's correct. We need to match minute for minute Steph and AD because when AD had left the court, we were up 7. It was 33-26. And then at halftime, we were down 11. So there was a 19-point swing from the time you sat Anthony Davis to the end of half, even when he came back in. I thought that was the tipping point, Gerald. And then finally the the collapse was that third quarter when he sat again, and then the lead ballooned from something like 18 to almost 30. So I just think they need to come out with the right attitude, Gerald. I think that was the huge difference, rather than just small little differences in the game plan. I personally think that the Warriors are going to come out again and say screw Steve Kerr's motion offense. We're going to run just every off ball screen, put the ball in Steph's hands, and try and get Anthony Davis in a hedge versus hell position again, because it was either hedge or hell for AD. If he didn't hedge, it went in. So it seems like it's more of a little processing errors that AD has had at the in the paint tonight, Gerald. It just seemed like the energy was off, and his lack of focus wasn't there. So I think if certain changes are made, small adjustments, but the big one is just the attitude, I think.
Joe, I mean, there's something again. We got to go ahead and consider the fact again that I think that there was an issue of fatigue. I know you say each and every time out, but AD did look gassed. He looked disengaged. He looked really tired to me, even from the end of the first quarter on. It's just something where, like you said, his shot wasn't falling. I think I can attribute that to, again, how hard he played in game one. Hopefully, he can find whatever he needs to muster up so he can go ahead and relive the game one in game three on Saturday.
We can't have that mindset that he's gassed. This is not a 38-year-old LeBron James. This is Anthony Davis in his prime. He just turned 30. He should not be tired. Mentally, it's probably played into that, but he needs to unmentally figure that out. He's Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, you are a finals MVP away and a multiple champion away from putting yourself in a category that very few people have been in.
It's
And
like an Akeem,
Yes.
Bill Russell
Yes.
era.
He is for this team to win a championship, he has to be the MVP. And he can stockpile because we have awards again in every game. I'm surprised we don't have a player of the year for May 4th of 2023 awards after tonight's game. I'm surprised they don't have that and presenting it at center court so everyone could feel good about the award.
Maybe they do, Joe. They didn't show it on camera.
Yeah, just like the whole hustle award. I've been watching the NBA. How long? I didn't even know that award existed. Maybe I'm not as smart as I thought I was in terms of knowing what the NBA has. But I think that's probably. I was joking. I was joking about some of the awards I was playing around with, and then all of a sudden I read that today. I started laughing. I go, it was a joke. I was exaggerating. They actually have an award for hustling for the year. So, Anthony Davis, hustle. Try to win that award for the playoffs. Do they have one for the playoffs too? Do you know if they have
Never
one?
know.
Anyone? Bueller?
They
Bueller?
might. They might.
Okay. Anthony Davis, you have a month and a half of basketball. And you've been missing games. You missed 104 games the last couple of years. You can't really tell me you're tired either. 104 games is essentially a season plus 22 more. I don't want to hear this garbage about tired. You have a month and a half to win the Western Conference Finals MVP and the Finals MVP and put 18 up in the rafters. Your legend would be unmatched because no one has done that since George Mikan's teams lead the league in championships, and you could be you'd be the catalyst for it. Make it happen. I don't want to hear this crap again about being tired. He's not LeBron James. LeBron James has been playing forever. Anthony Davis, this is his what? 13th season, 14th season. He's 30 years old. He should be all day Anthony Davis. I didn't just say that because I made it because his initials are AD. All day Anthony Davis. You get all day Anthony Davis, you win a championship. If I'm Darvin Ham, you go in there and you say, Anthony, we can't have any more of these games. I don't care if we go up 3-1 and we go to Golden State. Okay? Do not settle even then. You got to go all out. You get injured, so be it. F it. I don't care. Play hard. Go all the way. Win the games. Don't slow down. That's it.
Yeah, Gerald, Joe is correct. You want to talk about being tired? Gerald, Kevon Looney played 11 minutes tonight and he out-rebounded every single Laker. I'll repeat that again. Kevon Looney played 11 minutes tonight and he out-rebounded every single Laker.
That's not what you want to hear as you're a Lakers fan. You got to find more energy on Saturday. Got to be able to go ahead and produce a lot better results on the offensive end. And then, of course, that should hopefully initiate the defense into playing more sound defense against this team, which is what you can do. Still, the Lakers go back to LA, tied 1-1. Like you said, Joe, all they have to do is just take the games at home, and we've got it in control. That's all you need to do. Take the games on Saturday and Monday, and we'll get this thing going where it goes back to San Francisco with the Lakers up 3-1.
Yeah, that's the mindset. You have to win every home game at this point, and you win the series. It's simple math, right? It's a team again. Plus, you're playing against a team that struggles on the road. You do not give these guys a breather. You win game 3, the pressure is on Golden State. Those shots become harder to shoot when you're on the road on top of it. And that's what I would tell the team. I'd be on that all day with Anthony Davis, with the whole team. And Austin Reeves, I don't know if he's got an injury. I don't know if the moment is getting to him, but you got to do some Mr. Miyagi discussions here with him. Okay, you want him to go do wax on, wax off to get his mind off some things. You got to do what you got to do. Don't. You had mentioned pop culture cosmos and what's been going on in the entertainment world. Don't do what the entertainment execs have been doing the last God knows how long, especially the video game execs. Guys, all these guys that have been in the industry and all these guys that have been in charge of this, they can't even chew bubble gum and walk at the same time. That's how terrible they are. Don't be that. Don't be that. Focus, win game 3, and then go start getting that knife in really tight in game 4. And then if you want to play hard in game 5 and you don't come out ahead, okay, I guess I can understand that. Golden State's got their backs on the wall. They're the champs. But at least put in better effort than you did tonight, and I'll accept the loss if they do. But you got to win all the home games if you're not going to win another game in San Francisco. That's the bottom line, because
Joe Soro said so.
There you go.
Once again, it is the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do lose 127-100. Gee, how did I know he was going to set it up like that? MagicMan, before we head on out, though, again, find some keys to me as far as initially early on, your early observations for Saturday's game. Find some keys on who needs to step it up. My key right there is the backcourt. D'Lo and Austin Reeves, unfortunately, everything that they gave you in game 1, they really didn't give you much in game 2.
No, Gerald, it was a complete, almost polar opposite of what you got. When we saw Austin Reeves on Klay Thompson, Gerald, at least in the first half, Klay was making some shots, but Reeves was in his face. He was actually making him work really hard for what he got. It didn't seem that way tonight. It seemed that, like, for whatever reason, Reeves was just a step or half a step behind Thompson or whoever else he was checking, and he just didn't have it offensively either. So I'm with you. I think the backcourt needs to deliver a bit more. D'Lo kept us in the game a little bit in the first half with his mid-range shots, but yes,
he disappeared.
He disappeared as well, Gerald. I was just about to say, yeah, he was very passive as well as the game wore on. For some reason, it just seemed as the game stretched on, so did the Lakers' passivity to attacking, focus, discipline. It just seemed that they were very passive. And I don't want to see that kind of attitude in game three. I want to see a ferocious, maniacal, willing to do whatever it takes. Like Joe's right about the boards too. At one point in time, it felt like we were getting killed on the boards, but we weren't. It was 26-24 for the Warriors. But after that, the Warriors out rebounded the Lakers 29-16, almost doubled them up on the boards.
Yeah, just
It's not
not a
good.
good outing. No.
It's not a good outing. So your effort and your attitude needs to be a lot better. If I see a better effort and attitude from the backcourt, I think I'll feel pretty good about the results on Saturday.
Yeah, if they find that kind of energy, which they should when they hit back home, I think it's in no question they'll be able to go ahead and recover and win game three. But my friend, Mr. Joe Soro himself, let me ask you this before we head on out, my friend. What are some of the things that you're looking forward to besides a renewed energy, a way to go ahead and stop them, a little bit better defense? Uh, I think that when it comes to AD, I think we're going to get a much better performance from him in game three. What are you looking forward to in game three that the Lakers can go ahead and be able to expect in order to get that victory?
Well, I'd like an adjustment of maybe a little bit more pick and roll with D'Lo and Anthony Davis, as well as LeBron, uh, setting the offense a little bit more versus trying to get a shot. He got his shot a little bit tonight. Good. Hopefully he can use that in spurts in game three. But LeBron is an initiator. LeBron gets the offense going, and that's what we want. We want movement. We want good shot selection and no ill-advised shots and bounce pass turnovers. That's something that we kind of get plagued with every now and then during the game. Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves is needed on this team. He keeps the other guys honest. We need him to hit the open shot. And that's another thing, by the way, guys. When we lost that 7-point lead, there was about a 5-minute stretch there where guys were missing open shots. Schroeder, Reeves, everyone. We cannot miss shots we're supposed to make. At least not all of them. You got to hit open shots at a 40 to 50% clip, especially from three. You do that, you are going to win the game, especially when you're at home. It's got to be focus, movement, and desire. Ganas. Jaime Escalante used to say it. Ganas. You have the ganas? Desire. Desire to beat the champs, to hopefully become the champs. I'm not trying to do a Newt Rockney speech here. I'm not doing that, but the cliches make sense here. You beat the champ, you now are on your way to becoming the champ. And it's not just winning a championship this year. It's winning number 18. Winning number 18 is as big as any championship in NBA history. You're talking about taking the lead over a team that's had it since the 50s. Since the 50s. My parents weren't even born when the Celtics took over the title, most titles in the NBA. So, inspirational speech for the night. That was it. I don't feel like I need to do that. I think it's
No,
more.
we're going back 1-1.
I don't
what we
feel
need
like
to
I
do.
need to do that. I feel like the Lakers probably likely know this. Execute it. You're playing at home. You won game one for this moment. And I'm going to go back to what I said for game 6 of Memphis. You don't win game 6 in Memphis. You don't win game 6 at home against Memphis. You're not the champions. And they came out and they won by 40. So now my assessment on this is you want to be the champs, you have to win game 3 and 4. Simple as that. At home.
Absolutely. Got to take those games at home. This weekend at the Crypt on Saturday and on Monday, it is the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do unfortunately lose 127-100, but Laker fans, you could take solace in the fact that they go back to Los Angeles tied 1-1 with games 3 and 4 at home at the Crypt on Saturday and Monday. Game 3 is 5 o'clock on the West Coast, 8 o'clock on the East Coast. Saturday night. We're looking forward to it. Please join us. Playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. MagicMan for MMITM. What do you have planned for everyone on Cinco de Mayo on MMITM? MagicMan in the morning.
Yes, Gerald. I like I said, this came up on us so fast. Yeah, I don't have any mariachi bands prepared. I don't have my sombrero, but I'm gonna try and be as festive and appropriate as possible for Cinco de Mayo. It's a wonderful day
Corona,
for it.
Tecate. What are you doing?
Yes, yeah. Oh, I ran out of Corona.
Just slip that into the coffee cup
Yeah,
somehow.
yeah. Some. I do have some tequila, so we'll work. We'll work there. We'll work there. I'm never out of tequila for some reason. It's going to be a great show. Unfortunately, it's coming off a loss, which it's kind of but we're going to do our best and make a good show. I hope to have a special guest available as well, so that's still pending. So hopefully it'll be a well received show, and looking forward to Game 3 on Saturday because I think I'll bring a snack pack as well. I'll be working throughout the game, so I'll be
Well, no, it's
available.
got to be Lakers weekend. Anything related to the weekend, we're going to put on Lakers weekend for you. How about that?
All right, sounds good.
Absolutely. Penning my cat says get drunk at 9 a.m. Sean, and he'll be there. So, my gosh. Jaw LB, unbelievable. But I will say though, it is the Lakers fast break. Lakers do win 127-100.
I
will
gotta
tell you what,
say, I gotta hand it to George Clooney. He really does make a very good tequila.
yes. Again, you might want to be drinking that tomorrow for the Lakers fast break as we celebrate Cinco de Mayo on MagicMan in the morning. We'll see what happens indeed, but it is the Lakers fast break. We truly appreciate everyone watching and listening. Joe, any final thoughts? I know we're going to get you back on hopefully beforehand. We go on the air on playback.tv on Saturday. But any last thoughts before we head on out?
Get to the ice. Get yourselves healed up here. You're going back
Hyperbaric
home.
chamber.
You'll be home tonight. Make sure you get your rest. Talk to your women. Get your women happy, and then get to Saturday morning at shoot around, and let's start putting that dagger in that heart of the champ.
Some pain. Some pain.
Some pain indeed. I would actually, I feel better about what we saw last time because again, they were confident going back to Golden State that they could take 2 with no problem in Golden State and tie up that series in the last round. I don't think they're so sure, even coming off this big win, that they're 100% confident that they can go ahead and get the victory in Los Angeles, either game 3 or game 4. The Lakers, after coming off that destroyment of Memphis at home, really seems like it's something that the Lakers could do both games 3 and 4.
You can create that doubt Saturday. Lakers pound the Warriors. You're on your way to putting all the pressure on them for game 4 because they'll know they don't win game 4, it's likely over.
As the nature boy Ric Flair says, and Zangerstein says it herself, to be the man, you got to beat the man. Absolutely, indeed. But once again, it is the Lakers fast break. The Lakers go back home tied 1-1, heading back to LA, back to the crib. MagicMan, any last thoughts before we head on out, or are you just going to save them all for tomorrow morning, Cinco de Mayo, my friend?
Yeah, no, I was gonna save it for tomorrow, Gerald. I had another Ric Flair quote in mind, but it's way too late. And
yeah, you're going to talk about Space Mountain and all that good stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, Ric Flair had, when he stopped doing the generic promos and he actually started to do stuff where he just like talk about his shoes costing more money than your entire salary or stuff like that.
My alligator shoes cost more than what you made in the past 4 months.
His best quote was when he was telling, I can't remember, it was Magnum TA or someone. Yeah. He goes, he spent more money on spilt liquor than what he made in a year. Yeah. That might have been the baddest. It was the baddest promo.
And it wasn't far from the truth.
Of the 80s. And then fast forward 30 years later, him watching himself tell him and the four horsemen or the pseudo horsemen about who they were. Do you remember which one I'm talking about,
Yeah.
Gerald? You
Yep.
remember
I do.
the
I remember
impression?
all the variations.
That
Absolutely.
promo is, in my book, the greatest promo I've ever watched.
One last thing.
It
I
was the
know that.
woo off, for those of you who want to know.
And first of all, I got to thank
Jay
the best.
Lethal, I'll just tell him right now.
Jay Lethal.
Jay Lethal doing Ric Flair to Ric Flair, doing it so well
On
that
Impact.
Ric Flair has a smile on his face while he's doing it.
Go ahead, Sean. Go ahead, Sean.
Go ahead,
Because I want to
Sean.
ask about Lonnie Walker before we head on that.
Yeah, no. Since we're coming off the bad guy vibe, right? What did he say? I really liked playing the bad guy. I was good at it. Not being bad to people, but talking bad.
And when you're the heel is so much more fun than being the face in pro wrestling. It's just
It
that.
is,
It's
but
it's harder. It's harder. It's
different.
harder.
It was different
It is.
with Flair.
Gerald's right.
It was different with Flair, though. Flair showed off the arrogance of the rich and privileged. It's like he wasn't ashamed of it, which
Yeah, but Flair was a great heel, right? He never played the anti-hero. He
No.
wasn't he was never Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was always the heel.
it was different. It was different then. The anti-hero didn't become popular till the late 90s. And then that's kind of what produced even The Rock and Stone Cold and Shawn Michaels and all those guys.
Well, the greatest anti-hero is Bad Santa, but that's a different story.
That's a different story indeed. Let's not go into that one. But before
Oh,
we head
I
on,
would, Gerald. I would.
well, let's wait it for how about Christmas time? How about that's perfect for Christmas time.
Yeah, we're gonna need to skip back to basketball because we're gonna have somebody emailing us about how we keep talking about movies.
Yeah,
and wrestling.
absolutely. Yes. Well, at least nobody said that they want to see more Tristan Thompson, but the guy that they do want to see more is Lonnie Walker the fourth. And Lonnie Walker again coming out in garbage time and playing actually pretty good. We've seen this now a few times, Magic Man. We've seen TBJ not give you anything. We've seen Malik Beasley not give you anything as that eighth guy. I'd say, what the hell? Give it a shot.
Lonnie Walker's become the pseudo backup quarterback. We all love the backup quarterback.
No, Zagerstein, LW4 is not good defensively. That's why he's sitting on the bench.
That's why he sits. Yeah, it's not rocket science.
A playmaker, and did you remember the days when we tried him as a backup point guard? He was terrible trying to pass.
That was awful. That was awful.
He scores, and he goes to the rim very easily. That he can do, and he can when he gets streaky from the outside, and when he starts shooting off the outside, he's legit as a scorer. But yes, put him out there against the weakest offensive player.
Gerald. Yeah, we can't. We are playing the ultimate playground team here. And although I understand that a lot of people like Lonnie Walker the fourth's game, and he's more of a playground scorer as well. It's just a bad matchup.
She was talking about TJ McConnell for Dennis.
Yeah.
Schroeder.
Yeah.
TJ, great kid. Yeah, can give you everything you need off the bench except for an outside shot. Yeah, really good playmaker and sets people up. Plus, he's one of the best steals guys out there in basketball right now. So yeah, I think that's probably true.
Yeah, I would say he's probably the third best backup point guard in the NBA. Tyus Jones, D'Anthony Melton, and then probably TJ McConnell.
We'll see what we can do about that in the offseason. But for now, we got Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder needs to give you a game one performance on both sides of the ball. And I think he can do that coming home. I think, again, it's one of those situations. Good Dennis Schroeder, bad Dennis Schroeder. We got a bad Dennis Schroeder and a good Dennis Schroeder. Hopefully goes back to good indeed. But Jim House says, thanks for the entertainment while he walked his dog. Appreciate it. We can do that for you. Jose, say again, we need Braun to run point at least part of this game. I need to see more post-ups like we did a little bit more in game one, what we saw a little bit of. I think that's something that the Lakers need to go back to, Joe. I think they really do. I think they can find a lot of success with the Braun posting up and getting easier shots or making plays making easier shots for the Lakers if that's the case.
LeBron needs to make that Dirk turnaround jumper on a regular basis, and guys need to move around and and create space so they have open shots, and they have to make them. If they want to do that, then yeah, that'll be an effective offensive weapon or at least a setup for the Lakers to be effective. But
So you're not in love with LW4 getting the shot at that eighth as like eighth guy.
just roll with what you got right now. We don't have time to experiment. You want to experiment, go experiment when you're up 3-0 in the next series or something. But just roll with what you got right now. Win this damn game on Saturday, and then the pressure's on Golden State to win. It's hard for teams to play hard where they suck at, and on top of that, they're a shooting team. It's harder to make those shots on the road where they've struggled, and it's harder to make those shots when the pressure is really, really on. And you're not you're not playing the Sacramento Kings. You're not playing an inferior team. This has got Anthony Davis, and you have LeBron, and you have good role players that are playing on this team. So don't think that just because they go down 2-1, all of a sudden they're going to go win 3 in a row. That's not going to happen. You're not playing the 2018 Cleveland Cavaliers or the 2017 Cleveland Cavaliers where it's just LeBron and the merry minimums. No, it's not. This team is equipped to beat your ass. And the Lakers need to start making that happen starting on Saturday.
Once again, the Lakers do lose 127-100. They get outscored as soon as AD sat down at the beginning of the second quarter. They got outscored 101-67, I believe is what I have as far as the amount of scoring that was done the second, third, and fourth. That's how much they got outscored by. I don't see that happening again. I see the Lakers going ahead and bring it back up in game 3. Game 3 is going to be intense. It's going to be a dogfight. And I think the AD and LeBron, you'll get a very good version of both coming back there. I think you're going to see better performances from Austin Reeves, D'Lo, giving you something more than outside of that 1-2 minute span, what he seems to give you when he's not playing well, that gives you brief hope and then disappears the rest of the game. I don't think you're going to see that in game 3. I think you're going to see a lot better effort from the entire team on the boards. You're going to see much more as far as the fast break where they got outscored there. You're going to see much more in the paint where they got outscored there. You will see a much better Lakers team on Saturday. They know they've got this game and series in hand if they can win game 3 and 4, and I think they can do just that. So I'm going to say right now it's going to be a good times for the Lakers this weekend. We're looking positive. We're going to try and stay positive. We're going to Laker Tom School of positivity right there for you. Joe Soro is very confident. I'm very confident, and I know Sean is as well, and he'll express that tomorrow morning at MagicMan in the morning for Cinco de Mayo. Looking forward to hearing that. I may even join up for Cinco de Mayo, so we'll see. So once again, it is the Lakers losing 127-100, but they go back to LA tied 1-1 as we head back to the crypt. Looking forward to it. We've got more snack packs, Laker weekend, and everything else lined up for you this weekend for you. So it's looking good for us. It'll be looking good for yourselves as well. Hoping for a great weekend for all of us and some wins for the Lakers. Looking forward to it as we go through Saturday and Monday. Don't forget, playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. You would have heard to the great conversations that we had. Joe Soro, MagicMan, Laker Nick, big shout out to you. Everybody that was involved as far as in the chat room for that. Truly appreciate your support on Playback. Everybody here, game 3, you're right, Howard, is decisive. Lakers must win game 3. Bring that intensity. You're right, Alice. Everybody's got to go ahead and give that positive vibes to the Lakers because they sure need it for game 3, and I think they'll get it done. But we want to hear from you. Let us know on social media at Lakers Fast Break. Go ahead and support everybody that we're a part of, including Lakers Ball, Sin Blades, MagicMan in the morning, the Upside Swings NBA Draft Podcast, John Mikaelian channel, and all that. If you can support and subscribe and like, you go ahead and help us out indeed. But once again, the Lakers do go back to LA, tied 1-1. The games are getting much more important and much more crucial, and we're going to go ahead and be part of every bit of it right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. Have a good evening, everyone. Stay safe.